The podcast you're about to hear is my 51st Takes podcast that was around 2 years ago. We only did about 7 episodes, but here they are, and I'm bringing them into the Pat Rick Productions brand, and I'm going to be continuing it here on the YouTube channel, looking into maybe pushing it out to other mediums here soon. So I hope you enjoy. Some of the movies are a little bit older, but there's some of the ones that are still fun to watch today. So I hope you enjoy them. Hello, my name is Patrick, and welcome to 51st Takes, your number one review show and hot takes of the recent box office movies that come out. Today is going to be a great show. We're going to be reviewing the movie Deadpool 2. Just came out this weekend. I saw it Thursday night, and I had a blast. But without further ado, let's get into it here. I'm going to start with non-spoilers section here, and then I'll have a spoiler section later, but I'll warn you guys. But let's get into it. Deadpool 2, directed by David Leitch, and starred Ryan Reynolds. What is there to say? Ryan Reynolds loves this character. He loves playing Deadpool, and it shows. I mean, this is the sequel to his first movie. And honestly, with comedies are usually really hard to have sequels for. Usually, they aren't as good as the original, and I have to say this is the exception. This takes what the first Deadpool does and expands on it. Yeah, he repeats some of the same jokes, but because it's Deadpool and how he delivers a line, it works. But yeah, let's. The general plot is, as you guys seen from the trailers, Deadpool is going. Pretty much, Deadpool is going to try to save this kid who Cable is trying to apparently kill. And it's this whole entire idea of Cable trying to kill this kid, and then Deadpool's trying to save him. And you see that from this trailer. From going back to just the difference between this movie from the last movie is they're doing a very good job of setting up the theme right off the bat. So Deadpool 1 came out on Valentine's Day weekend, and it was very much a rom-com Valentine's Day type of movie within the scope of Deadpool. And they did the same thing with this movie, where this is a family film. It's a hard R, so don't let the kids see this, but it's very much of Deadpool finding his family and creating his family, and under the scope of that, it does a phenomenal job of playing with those family tropes. Does a awesome job of just family dynamics that a normal family would have, but in the context of Deadpool. So that's where this movie's starting off from, is it's Deadpool in a family film. And what does that look like? And it is hilarious. You have Colossus coming back. You have Mega Teenage Warhead, whatever her name is. It's too long to even for me to really care about. And then you have Cable by Josh Brolin again, who does a phenomenal job. He is a badass in this movie, just like he was in Thanos. And yeah, what do I say more about each character just does a phenomenal job. There is one character that shows up, which I will say in the spoilers section, that blew my head off, and I'm actually happy that they did this character justice and correctly, because let's just say the previous movies that he was in was not so great. But anyways, not that was I guess that was a slight spoiler, sorry, but I didn't say who. So anyways, but go back to the themes here. Yeah, this is a family film that really does a good job of being a family film within the context of Deadpool. The plot, we talked about the plot already. The soundtrack for this movie hits every single point exactly. I will say they paid a lot of money for royalties because they used a lot of other people's songs and didn't write their own. So yeah, they paid a lot of money for royalties for this one. But every song had a purpose and fit the scope of the movie. Action sequences. I mean, the all. I kind of like this is different from I believe from the first Deadpool, where you actually saw a lot of good hand-to-hand combat. I would go back to John Wick in that movie where it was less shaky camera and then more actual you are actually seeing him fight. And I saw this in this movie a lot, where they zoomed out and they let you see him fight, which is really cool because Deadpool is obviously a skilled martial artist. They make fun of everything. They make fun of Infinity War. They make fun of obviously the X-Men franchise. You'll get all those tropes. Just Deadpool was just a funny character. Let's talk about X-Force, the X-Force team. Domino, I am calling it right now. Domino's going to be a fan favorite from everyone out there. For those who haven't seen it, look out for this girl. She is going to be big. You're going to love her. And this whole movie was just so beautifully done. And in the scope, I mean, I'm talking about a Deadpool movie being beautiful, but it really is. It's very enjoyable. And I'm just gonna go back to just before I even watched the movie. The marketing team for Deadpool is amazing. I'll even go back to Deadpool 1 and even this movie where it's like you have the poop Deadpool with the emojis. You have this movie where I distinctly remember they took the trailer for Infinity War, but they added Deadpool, and so it's all pretty much almost all the same lines. Where in the beginning it was just these core heroes, and you see it's hilarious, and that's just one of the many marketing things that this marketing team's just done, and it is mind blowing. Box office wise, I mean, obviously it's one of the highest grossing rated R movies. The only one domestically, I don't think it actually beat is Passion of the Christ, but globally it obviously beat Passion of the Christ. So from everything from the marketing to even just the development of this movie is just, I think it's one of the best comedy sequels there ever been. So now I'm going to switch over to the spoiler section of this movie. So if you haven't quite seen Deadpool yet, go out, see it. I suggest watching it. I'll give my final take ranking at the end of this episode, but I do suggest seeing it. So at least it gets one take at least. But yeah, go ahead and go see it. Come back, or if you don't care about spoilers, stay on here and we'll see what we can do. So let's move on here. So the movie starts off right off the bat. I'll say this movie tries to copy Infinity War. So because right off the bat, it starts off with death. And by that I mean with that is that the death of Vanessa. Vanessa right off the bat dies, which then propels Deadpool to go into this frenzy because they were going to make a baby together and start a baby family. Hence, it's a family film. But she dies, and so that makes Deadpool go crazy. He tries killing himself multiple times, and obviously it doesn't work because he's Deadpool. He can't die, really. And then, he eventually joins the X-Men for a short period of time, Colossus. And at this point, he goes on a mission to save this kid. At this point, he believes that his mission in life now is to save this kid because Cable comes in trying to kill him because this kid eventually kills Cable's family. And Deadpool makes his mission to save this kid, and then not just save him, just to save him, but save him from being his own bad guy, save him from being evil. He goes through all this stuff. They go to prison together, which is quite humorous. They make so many prison jokes during that time. Cable breaks into the prison and accidentally frees Deadpool. At the same time destroying the whole entire prison to begin with, which then Deadpool has to create a team. Here comes the X-Force. This is a very funny sequence, them trying to recruit the X-Force, all the X-Force members dying. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then X-Force goes after the kid at the same time Cable does. Plan fails. Kid still joins up with the Juggernaut of all people. The Juggernaut. This is the big reveal of this movie. I was so happy they got the Juggernaut completely right. I was very happy when I saw him. He was just like Deadpool, one of my favorite X-Men characters. Although he's evil, but he's just one of the OGs, and it's very happy to see him and how he is supposed to be. Then the kid teams up with the Juggernaut. Now we have to have Cable and Deadpool with the remaining surviving members, which is just Domino at this point, of the X-Force, to go in and kill or stop the kid from killing the warden of this mental institution that the kid was being held at originally. And this is what, and if that kid does kill the warden, then that kid will become evil at that moment in time. So obviously Deadpool goes and was able to stop the kid from killing the warden. Cable used to the last bit of his time juice, as I like to call it, from his little time machine to actually save Deadpool, because Deadpool for a brief moment in time becomes mortal, but then he uses his time juice to save him. At this moment in time, Deadpool saves everyone, saves the kid, and fulfills his purpose. And at this moment in time, he can die, but no. This is not his time yet. He has a new family, and that is with Cable, with his kid, with Domino, with Colossus. This is now his family, and this is what makes this movie a great family film. And I ultimately just had a blast watching this movie. There were so many tropes in it. Like I have to watch it again just to get all the little tiny wisecracking jokes that he says, just like the first one. And there's so many movie references, not just like superhero movies, but like random movie just one-liners that he says that just made me, as a movie lover, just really happy, and I just died laughing in the theater. But overall, I would give this movie a solid 4 out of 5 takes. It's not quite a 5-taker, but 4 or 5 takes will do it here for me. That's my movie review. Watch the end credit scenes. I will not spoil that, because I will only say that only Deadpool can do these scenes justice. And I'll just say that it's something that only Deadpool can do, and it's great. But yeah, that's my movie review for Deadpool. Thank you. The next portion of the show is the fan question portion, and we do have one fan question today. It is from Jeremy. Thank you for your question, Jeremy. He asks, is the end scene of Avengers Infinity War, where Thanos is just on his family farm and just chilling, being content with the world, is that really the ending of this film, or is it going to be the ending of the next film, just like the comic books, where after Thanos is beaten, he just goes and is just content with being beaten? That's a good idea. I honestly, I don't believe that is actually the ending of the next film. The only reason why is Kevin Feige always said that this movie, Avengers Infinity War, had a definite end, which it did. There was a definite finish to the movie, and that is of the Thanos arc. Next movie is going to be completely different, I think. It's going to be Avengers trying to rebuild. It's going to be trying to avenge what has happened to their universe. The whole thing of that's really the ending of the next movie. Honestly, I don't think Thanos is even alive in the next movie. I think he's getting put down, and the themes of the next film are going to be completely different, which would cause for a different ending. So to answer your question fully, no, I don't think that the ending of Infinity War, that scene is going to be the same scene that we see in the next movie, just because I don't think Thanos is going to be lasting that much longer. So that concludes this week's show of 51st Takes. I thank you for listening. Keep on listening. Make sure you hit that subscribe button above. If you have a Twitter question that you want me to ask here on the show, go ahead and tweet at me at 51st Takes. Or you can email me at 51stakes@gmail.com. Shoot me your questions, and I'll be sure to answer them here on the show. Yep, and then just for a short plug, next week's movie, if you haven't guessed already, it's a little Star Wars story called Solo. Is it good? Is it not? Go ahead and listen to my show next week on 51st Takes.